Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we are here for a March TBR as well as a February wrap-up. So the first thing I want to do is a couple things off the top. There's going to be a link to my personal channel below, and if you are interested in nonfiction, go over there, subscribe there, because what I'm doing right now is I'm going through the Daily Stoic, and I have started Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. I'm going to be continuing this series with at least one video this month. It is hard for me to keep on top of content. I have worked at least 6 days a week since June, so I'm starting to feel it a little bit, but I'm attempting to stay on top of things. So that's the first thing, is my personal channel. If you are interested in that sort of thing, click on the link below in the description, follow me over there, and hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the Daily Stoic and the Leonardo series. There's also other things I do over there, like movie reviews, general story time type videos, different stuff like that. Basically, it's just sort of a hodgepodge channel. The next thing I want to talk about is I will tomorrow or the next day be posting an essay to the Patreon. Is love poetry dead? Yes, it is. But the title is Love Poetry Dead? I ask that if you do join the Patreon, you only do it at the $1 level. I am having a very hard time creating content. I haven't made content over there forever, and I am so sorry to anyone who is on the Patreon. And if you want a refund, just let me know. I'll be sure to refund you. But if you do decide to join, like I said, I ask that you join at the $1 level, and I'm going to do my best to be putting out an essay every month over on the Patreon. But the month of February, what did we do? Over on the personal channel, we had 4 episodes of the Daily Stoic. I have had to move that series over to Saturdays because it's just too hard for me to have 2 videos drop on Fridays every week. So I moved that series over to Saturday, those uploads over to Saturdays, in order to spread out the workload for me. But I am enjoying that series to the nth degree. It is something that I have wanted to do. I want to do a series on meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism in general is something that I find incredibly interesting and useful. It is something that I think there is a bit of a dissociative element for Stoicism. You dissociate yourself from the hard things around you to an extent, but there's also a bit of mindfulness at the bottom of Stoicism. Basically, when you mix the two up, when you shake it, you're looking at accepting reality for what it is and knowing that it's not too much for you. That's something that I've struggled with. There's a lot of videos in the playlist already from the last few readings dealing with the theme of anger. So that is something that I have found useful and something that has been overwhelming to me at times in my life. February the 4th, we had Dream Within a Dream by Edgar Allan Poe on this channel. And I don't think I'd ever read that poem before. Once I really sat back after having done the discussion and I thought about it, like I knew a couple quotes from the poem, I don't think I'd ever actually read that poem before. And it's a very strange looking, it's not a pretty poem on the page either. Like The Raven, very pretty poem on the page. When you look at it, you say, hey, that's appealing looking. It's a good looking poem. Dream Within a Dream, not so much. So the 11th, so what I'm doing here is poetry discussion on the first Friday of the month, short story discussion on the second Friday of the month, third Friday of the month is a writer's quote, and the fourth Friday of the month so far is an opening paragraph. So the second Friday of February was A Worn Path by Eudora Welty. Another new text to me. That short story is one that I was not prepared for. It was something. when you read it, it feels like it's going to be a Southern Gothic, but it never gets there. So it was a very interesting text. Eudora Welty is someone that I am looking forward to reading more of in the future. And if you have read that short story, consider checking that video out here on the channel. Writer's Quote 37 was on February 18th. Not much else to say there besides what was in the video. And the 25th, just this past Friday, 26 minutes with the opening paragraph of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. We went over that. 26 minutes I spent on that opening paragraph. It's probably 1, 2, 3, not even 4 lines. It's probably 35-ish words. So squeezing out whatever I can from that. So moving forward into March, like I said, again, the Daily Stoic on Saturdays. They will be entries 9, 10, 11, and 12, I believe, on this month. 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe it's 10, 11, 12, and 13. Whatever it is. We will have uploads on my personal channel, a link to which can be found in the description below, for the Daily Stoic on Saturdays. And I'm going to get into at least one more entry for Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. If you have not read anything by Walter, so there's already a playlist on the channel for Walter Isaacson's Leonardo da Vinci. If you have not read anything by Walter Isaacson, I cannot recommend him enough. Walter Isaacson is a masterful storyteller, and he's a masterful storyteller at allowing you into a person's life in order to understand them better. Einstein, right there, that guy, that's a Walter Isaacson biography as well, and it is the greatest biography I've ever written. So he doesn't do the whole let me look at a person like Joshua Wolf Shank wrote Jesse James. No, he wrote Lincoln's Melancholy. Lincoln's Melancholy, great book, but it looks at a very specific aspect of Abraham Lincoln. Jesse James, Last Rebel of the Civil War. I can't remember who wrote that. Great book, but it just looks at him as far as why was Jesse James the way he was? Sort of a diagnosis a little bit. Walter Isaacson, from everything I've read, really allows you into a person's life on several levels in order to really feel who the individual was. So the 4th of March, Friday the 4th, The River Merchant's Wife. This is from Ezra Pound, but it's not a poem by Ezra Pound. It is apparently a type of translation, but there is a lot of conjecture as to how much of that is translation. Like, is it just Ezra Pound taking someone's stuff and saying, yeah, this is what I want to do with it? Or is it straight translation? There's a lot of stuff going around on with The River Merchant's Wife, but tentatively from Ezra Pound. Next, Red-Headed Baby will be the short story discussion for the month from Langston Hughes. This is a short story. Langston Hughes, good Missouri guy, right? Good Missouri people. Langston Hughes' Red-Headed Baby is a short story that comes at you like a joke, almost. It's the way it's set up is almost like a sitcom. But there's so much more going on in there. And there's so many things going on under the text. And the characters involved are a naked type of genuine. That's the only way I can really think to say it. A naked type of genuine. And the thing about the characters in that story that strike me most are the assumed identities of the people. The way the characters want other characters to think of them and what they assume from the other characters. That is an interesting thing to me. On Friday the 18th of March, we have Writer's Quote 38. Again, there is a Writer's Quote on the third Friday of every month here on the channel, and this month is no different. Nothing left to be said there except for the explication of the quote itself. And on the 25th of March, another opening paragraph video, another entry into the opening paragraph playlist here on the channel, a return to Shirley Jackson. I have done 2 or 3 Shirley Jackson opening paragraphs. House on the Haunting of Hill House. I think I did I do We Have Always Lived in the Castle? If not, that's going to be coming. Maybe I've done We've Always Lived in the Castle. I can't really remember. I've done something with We Have Always Lived in the Castle recently. This is embarrassing. Anyway, we're going to get The Lottery. 30 minutes with the opening paragraph of The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. I'm going to be honest with you. The Lottery is a short story that I could read and talk about for 24 hours if I had the space and the time on this channel. Honest to God, I could. That short story is so good. That short story is so good from start to finish. But that is what I have planned for the month of March here on the channel. So in April, there will be a poetry discussion every day of the week. A poetry discussion every day, therefore, of the month. There will be Sundays with Sylvia. Sylvia Plath will get 4 poetry discussions on Sundays. Emily Dickinson will have 4 poetry discussions on Mondays. Tuesdays will be with the Trench Poets. Wednesday will be with Langston Hughes. William Blake on Thursdays in April. Robert Frost on Fridays from the collection New Hampshire. There are, I believe, already 4 poetry discussions from New Hampshire here on the channel. Friday, there will be 5 after next month because there will still be 4 because the second Friday of the month will be on April 8th will be the 100th poetry discussion here on the channel. So I am looking to, instead of going just through Frost, I'm going to have a myriad of poems, and I'm just going to do maybe an hour with several poems. And then Slumming Saturday with Charles Bukowski, 5 poetry discussions from Charles Bukowski on the Saturdays in April. Also, like I have said previously, what I am doing is I am filming like a madman right now. I have uploads on the channel already for the month of December. I may have overshot one of my playlists, I think, by a single video, so I might have an upload for January once I get it onto the computer. But the reason I'm doing that is because I have a project, a novel read-along, that I am going to be doing here on the channel that I am really trying to put in a different perspective. I am trying to change the read-along format here on the channel. I am trying to, there's going to be a lot more editing involved with that. There's going to be a lot more production value involved in that. I am keeping it close to the vest for now. It is something that I will do an announcement video for. It is something that I think is going to be a whole lot of fun, and I think it's going to be something like 36 videos, I think, so far is what I've got sort of maybe planned. So, yeah, I think so. When I look at all of the different types of videos that I'm going to be doing at the conclusion, I'll do the read-along, which will be basically chapter by chapter. There's going to be a couple videos. There's going to be a couple chapters that take up multiple videos because they're so big. That might be giving a little bit away of what this read-along will be. It is an author that has appeared on the channel before. It is a playlist that has started to appear on the channel before. And at the conclusion of the read-along, there will be a book review. Then there will be a several-part movie review. Then there will be a quotes from video. There will be an opening paragraph video. There will be, I think I'm going to try to do something with writing along with the series. So there's going to be a bunch of different parts for this series. But yeah, I hope you are looking forward to that. And that is what we have planned for March 2022. So again, read The River Merchant's Wife from Ezra Pound, Red-Headed Baby from Langston Hughes, the writer's quote sort of out there on its own, and 30 minutes with the opening paragraph of The Lottery. That is your homework if you want to read along with me this month. And if not, at least go back and watch last month's The Daily Stoic videos on my personal channel, a link to which can be found in the description below. A Dream Within a Dream by Edgar Allan Poe, A Worn Path by Eudora Welty, the 37th video in the Writer's Quote series, and 26 minutes with the opening paragraph of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That's all I have, and I hope to see you for the next video here on the channel.